beautiful souls. I am Valeria Maritza at Healing Through You. I am an infinite being of light, and so are you. Today, I want to talk to you about loving yourself. You have heard this before, I am sure. Loving yourself, forgiving yourself, accepting yourself the way that you are right now in this moment is, in fact, the way that we shift our reality. We have been criticizing ourselves, judging ourselves most of our lives because we have learned to do these things from the people who have taught us to be this way. If you didn't have a, a perfect childhood where your parents didn't know how to show you love, or maybe you were told that what you were doing was wrong a lot of times. I mean, what kid is not told that what they're doing is wrong at one point or another, right? At least everywhere, right? At the schools, sit down, don't talk, and follow directions and all of that. I know. I mean, I was in the public school system for 15 years, so I know exactly what that's like, right? And how kids begin to internalize those statements is that they begin to feel that they're doing something wrong. And if they want to please, which most kids want to please, they want to please their parents, they want to please their teachers. Why? Because that equivalates them being liked and loved. That's what they think, right? If I do the right thing, then I'm going to be loved. And so they begin to put this together, and they feel really badly, especially the little ones, when they are reprimanded because they feel that they are not being loved. And this is a wound that gets stuck within the body, that we carry on onto adulthood, most of us. So this is one of the reasons that we work on our shadows. Our shadows is the things that we don't want to see, and the things that we don't want to see could be something like this, where you go back in time and you remember the way that you felt as a child when someone was putting you down one way or another. And as a child, we don't see this from the adult point of view, right? The adult can say, don't go to the stove, and they can yell it, they can really, really strongly and loudly to move, to scare the kid away from the stove so they don't get burned, because you're so scared that child's going to get hurt. But the child sees it as, I'm getting yelled at and I'm doing something wrong, and they don't love me, right? And so when we're trying to protect our children or anyone who's younger, right? And you are reacting in such a way to for the kid's benefit, the child doesn't see it this way, and that gets saved in their consciousness as trauma. Oh my gosh, I just got yelled at. I was just trying to help, right? I mean, this is what kids do. Their kids are always trying to help, right? And then being told they're doing something wrong. Anyway, getting back to this. When this happens over and over and over, what happens is that we begin to make a habit out of this. And then somebody can raise their voice slightly, and that child is going to immediately connect it to when they got yelled at really strongly because, going to the stove and getting hurt and all that stuff. And they're going to immediately connect it to that, and they're going to be like, oh, that's right, they're raising their voice, I'm doing something wrong, I am not loved, and okay, I need to be better, I should do better, I should act differently, I should do blah blah blah, right? And then the child internalizes that, and then the more this happens, the more it becomes a habit. So as soon as that child hears, even if they hear somebody else get yelled at, um, from somebody else, or even like on a TV show, right? You seeing it, and then you are saying that to yourself. And as adults, we have carried this type of thinking, and we tell each other all the time, we're too lazy, we're not working hard enough, we're too fat, we're too ugly, we're this, we're that, and we're just not good enough, right? And we tell each other these things when we don't succeed in the way that we ourselves are expecting to. So we put our own goals out there. we don't reach it on the time that we wanted to, and oh my goodness, we failed. And then we tell each other all of ourselves, not each other, we tell ourselves all of these things that are judging and criticizing of ourselves, right? So this is the way that we begin to talk and talk and talk to ourselves in a bad way. Change that. Let's change that to talk to yourself nicely, positively, right? You've heard about talking to yourself in the mirror before, right? Telling yourself, I love you, you're amazing, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, you're whatever it is that you want to tell yourself. Even if nobody else is saying it to you, you're going to say it to yourself, right? And even if you don't believe it, you're going to say it to yourself in the mirror, because the more you say it, what happens is that your subconscious will begin to believe it. You may not believe it at first, but you will begin to believe it subconsciously. And this is where those affirmations come from, right? Talking to yourself in the mirror, writing positive statements, saying positive affirmations. All of that happens in order to change the way that we had already learned that it was, right? We had learned to talk badly about ourselves, to criticize ourselves. And so all of those affirmations and saying things to yourself, hearing it with your own voice, like when you speak it out loud in the restroom, in the bathroom, in front of the mirror, and you're saying it and you're hearing your own voice tell yourself how beautiful you are, how gorgeous you are, how smart you are, how amazing you are, how much you love yourself, right? You hear it with your own voice. It has power. And that is what begins to change and shift everything around you. Once you begin to love yourself, forgive yourself, and allow yourself to be just the best thing that you are, right where you are, with exactly what you have done or accomplished right in this moment, when you are able to love yourself as you are right now, then you begin to set out and send out that energy. You begin to send out that energy to everyone around you, right? Your energy begins to expand, and the way that you see yourself, the way you speak to yourself, is what you're telling the universe that you are. And therefore, everyone around you treats you and sees you the same exact way that you see yourself. So when you begin to do this work and change the patterns, change the way that you speak to yourself, love yourself, forgive yourself, then everyone around you begins to see that new you. And then people will begin to treat you differently. They will begin to show up differently with you. And those who cannot, who are not vibrating, because this is a much higher frequency than the frequency that we reside when we are saying negative things to ourselves. So this is a higher frequency, right? So the longer you're staying in this higher frequency, what happens is that other people around you, the ones that you had originally attracted to your life, the ones who are making you feel stupid, the ones who are making you feel ugly, the ones that are making you feel like you're not good enough, those people you attracted to your life in the first place because you were thinking and feeling that about yourself, those people will begin to fall off your radar. They will leave. They will leave your side, and they will go and find somebody else who is still setting out their energy and telling the world, I am not worthy, I am ugly, I can't do this, I always fail, all of those things. They're going to find someone else where they can go ahead and reflect that to them, right? Or they will begin to heal themselves. And what does that mean, begin to heal themselves? It means that your energy, as you're vibrating higher, begins to touch others, and they begin to see you differently, behave differently with you, and in turn, they begin to talk to themselves differently as well. And so you're actually helping others around you heal just by healing yourself. This is how this works. The deeper the work that you do within yourself, the more that you're helping consciousness heal, the more that you're helping others as well heal, the more that you're making this world be a better place. That's the way it works. You begin with you. You love yourself, you accept yourself, you forgive yourself. These are three really big ones, really big ones. And once you are able to do that, you will see everything around you begin to shift. Now, we are still living in a three-dimensional body. We are still living the three-dimensional human experience. And what does that mean? It means that we all have a very, very, very close best friend called our ego. And our ego is here to protect us. And so, how does your ego protect you? It protects you by telling you the negative things. How is that protecting me, you say? Well, it protects you because if the ego tells you something negative about yourself, that means that you're talking to yourself in a negative way. Then, when somebody else says that to you, you won't be as hurt because you would have already heard it before from your own voice, from your own ego, from your own mind, and it's not going to hurt so much. So, this is one of the ways that the ego helps protect you, right? That's your best friend. You need to change the way the ego talks to you, right? And how do we do this? Every time that you catch yourself talking negatively to yourself, catch yourself, realize what you're doing, figure it out, and then stop it, right? Like, okay, I'm going to write a book. Yeah, I could never write a book. Wait a second. Did I just say I could never? Wait, that's negative talk. I'm talking negatively to myself. Therefore, of course I can write a book. If I had the idea, that means it is for me to do. I only get ideas that are great for me. I am divinely connected. God is connected with me. The My higher self is connected with me. Whomever it is that you believe in is connected to you. And if you have a thought or a feeling, it's because it's true for you. And so if you have an idea or a desire, it means that it's true for you. That means that you can have it because the idea is there for you. And therefore, of course, you're going to do it. Of course, I'm going to write the book. Of course, I'm going to be publishing it. Of course, I can do this because the idea is there. It wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me. Did you see how much I just spoke about that one thing? I took that one negative thought and I flipped it, and then I gave myself like so many other ideas and reasons as to why it would work. So as soon as you get and you hear that negative voice beginning to creep in and say something negative, judgmental about yourself, you recognize it. Be on the lookout for this. Be on the lookout for how you speak to yourself, right? Be conscientious about your thoughts, right? Stop. Whoa, what was that? Again, another bad thought, another negative thought. How many times do I talk badly to myself, right? We don't even realize it. It's like this is the way that we are. We don't even realize it. So as when you begin to put your intention to pay attention to the way that you speak to yourself, you are going to find how much of this negative talk you're saying to yourself. And then once you figure out how much of this negative talk you're saying to yourself, then you're going to realize, oh my goodness, this is why my life is going this way. It cannot be any other way. The universe delivers to you exactly what you're thinking. If you're thinking negative thoughts about yourself, the universe will deliver that. And and you're like, no, but that's not what I want. I want to be liked. I want to be loved. I want to be rich, whatever it is. Okay, yeah, you're saying that, but what is your negative thought saying right after that? No, you're not. You're not lovable. You're not rich. You're really poor. Look at that. There's nothing in the refrigerator, right? Those are all your negative thoughts, right? And then you flip them. What do you mean there's nothing in the refrigerator? I see a piece of lettuce in there. There's something in there. What are you telling me there's nothing in there? That you're exaggerating. Of course, I have so much. I am so blessed. I have all of the things. And begin to think of all of the abundance that you actually have in your life right now. Switch it around. Switch it around in your head. Speak it out. If you're by yourself, just talk to yourself, talk to your ego out loud because your voice has power. It is very powerful when you speak out loud, even if you're talking to yourself, and you hear your own words speaking and saying these positive things about yourself. You're hearing it and it integrates much faster. So begin to do that. Begin to change and shift the way that you see yourself, the way that you speak to yourself, to begin to see the results that you want to see in your life. I hope this was helpful. Let me know how much this makes sense to you, or if it doesn't, please like, share, and rate this podcast for me so that more people can find it and more people can hear the messages. I love you so much, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.